Hello, I think this is recording. I'm gonna do a test. Don't. Okay, hi. Echo has asked me to have you all see what I do in the process, which is, at least the first part, kind of cleaning up what she does and making it publish ready. This is usually called post-production in or pre-press. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, these are a bunch of the folders that she's given me with her art. Now, I already created the files originally for her to use, but they they get changed over the course of her using them. So we're going to work on the Sacrifice of Lesba chapter. Now, this is the final file I've cleaned up already and moved the other files over to this assets folder. These are our previous working folders and working files at various states. This is the most recent that I'm going to be working from. It's her design of a 6x9 page of this chapter, and I'm going to use this as a template for every other one going forward. So I'm going to open it up first and see how bad it is. Okay. So first off, it looks attractive, but a whole bunch of things are not quite right about it. First of all, things are not centered. Now, this is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, depending on the binding of a book. Sometimes the bindings are going to be so that you need to have the art and text further away from the center of the book, so there's room for the pages to breathe. But we don't actually know where this page is going to appear on the left inside the book. Is it going to be on the left or the right-hand side? If it was always going to be on the right-hand side, then I could, design it like this. I don't want to do that because it's already going to be like a 1,500-page book, and leaving blank pages is just going to make that even worse. There's 100 chapters, so that's 100 blank pages inserted. That's going to be another 100 pages. I don't want to do that. So anyway, I look at how she did. So she took the first page of text from the novel and she laid it in here. And that is this layer right here. And that's interesting. It looks really, really attractive. She did a great job of that. So I don't actually want to change that. What I do want to do is make sure that everything fits correctly. Now, while this is a 6x9 document, there's a huge amount of space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a completely new one from scratch. My video's in my way. It's going to be print. Going to set it up as inches, and it's going to be 6y by 9 tall. And I'm going to make this 600 pixels instead. It's going to stay at CMYK color for right now, but I'm probably going to change that later. Background is white. Color profile. Web is a type of paper printing where all the it's basically printing on a huge roll of paper and then it's chopped up. It's used for magazines and newspapers all the time. I honestly don't know if that's how they're going to be running it for a book. Probably not, but it's not going to hurt to leave it like that for now. So I hit create. So here's my default page. Now back to here. I know this is 6x6. So we're going to take this, I'm going to do some measurements. So I'm going to I'm going to turn this off. You don't actually want to see me anyway. Why is that not going away? Sorry, I'm new to this software. Got it. That's weird. Oh. Oh, okay, there we go. Anyway, so I am now going to measure this thing in the back here. Now, I just selected that. I'm now going to go to the info palette, and it says that it's 4.98 inches wide, so it's probably supposed to be exactly 5. Good. So that means that the center of the page is supposed to be that gold thing is halfway through. That means I'm going to make 5-inch wide. Oh, what the heck. I'll make it 9 inches tall. No, I'll make it 5 inches tall. Image here. Object. And the reason why I do that is I'm now going to center it in the page. And it makes it easier for me to drop the guides here. Now, let's see. Yes, I know. I still have the background layer selected. So now it seemed to automatically snap up here just to balance it. It kind of did, but not quite. Interesting. There. Okay, so that's the position, that's the margin it's going to be away from the page. Now you'll notice that she actually has artwork that goes beyond the gold border. So I'm going to so I have to find out approximately how close that's going to be. Well, I guess what I need to do more than anything is move this over and see how it's going to fit. Now, one of the interesting things is that this document is 300 dpi. This one is 600 dpi. That means that it's going to be crisper than the first one, and it's going to be, that means this is going to resize when I bring that image over. That didn't work. I guess I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Duplicate layer, move it over to untitled. Now this looks all wonderful. Alright, I was hoping to be able to just expand it. They keep changing Photoshop. I think I used to be able to just I can just open up this smart layer that has all of her artwork in it. I thought I could just open it up and expand it into it, but I can't. So here I have her, quote unquote, her final artwork. And you'll see it has all sorts of things in it that are just exquisite, but duplicates. A lot of layers that are off and are probably not important. Like this one. What did that do? Interesting. What was this layer? I'm only checking just to make sure it's not important. And sorry, I'm doing this at the gallery, so I had to pause for a moment while I spoke with somebody who walked in. So you can see that she has this old layer, and there are some differences. Most notably, there is this flower here that's different. So she turned that layer off. I don't need it. So let's just go and delete everything that's hidden, because I don't actually want to recreate this. I just want to take what's necessary. But then I noticed something strange. I go here, and notice I just turned off these two layers, but there's the exact same thing underneath them. But there is ever so slight difference. Now as I turn these off, it shifts. So where are these coming from? So let's hide those for a second. 183 and 183 copy. Why are they both there? And why does this say group 7 and then this say group 7? How many other things here are redundant? Well, I don't want redundancies. So taking all these, hide all those things. Okay. So what does this file do? Oh, it's not invisible. Its opacity is 0. It's completely invisible. Okay, that's important. That's gold. Okay, those are the letters that she wanted. This was invisible for some reason, so I'm deleting that. I might need to re-add it again at some point in time. Okay. What's this? Okay, that's important. That's obviously all those. Now, I assume all those important. Wait, what's this? What? What is this? That's that text. That's the same text of the tail Lespa, but it's. Why is it not visible? Okay, that's useless, so I don't need that, because that's not what you wanted. That is that, doesn't need that. That says there's no pixel on that layer at all. That's that flower, okay. That's that flower. Those details. All those details, okay. And here's another group 7. Okay, so I don't need these for some reason. Okay, the tale of Lesbos' sacrifice. That's the text that she left me. Exactly as she wants it. Good. Well, just because I can get anal retentive, I want to put that on top so it makes more sense to me. Yep. And leaving those. Oh, wait. Where's this? Where was this again? Oh, that's the gold eyes. Gold eyes. And to help remember it, I'm gonna highlight it. C16. C16. White border. Yes, I'm naming them because she didn't. I'm gonna call this entire thing Let's beheader. Okay. Now, that are those which she doesn't want. Old ones. I can always move them too. There's the two texts. There's this and this. That's group 7 again. I have no idea what. So what's this? There's nothing on that layer. That is that flower again. But I just hid that. So this layer 215, there's another 215 here. Okay, but if I move this 215, nothing happens, so it doesn't matter. 217. Oh, that's that flower again. Again, nothing happens. 205. Eyes again. And then okay, literally this entire folder is just redundant. We're gonna put the titles together. Oops. Aha. So these up on the titles. So I take so now all the titles are together. And that should be all the black and so that should be all the black and white except for the gold eyes. But okay. And then we have this gold arch. This is gold. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Okay. So I have all these things, and oh, sorry. Moving that out. So now I have 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. Lots of people coming in. So I now have this file that I'm going to all these things are going to transfer over to the master that I've created. Again, duplicate layers, the untitled one. All right, so now I have all these layers separate. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to close that. And I'll delete that. Okay, now these are really small because that file was 300 dpi, literally half the size they needed to be. So I'm now going to double this. As soon as I answer my phone. Okay, so I now need to literally double this size. Now, and instantly you're going to notice that it doesn't fit. What happened? Good question. I don't know what happened. But I do know that that's something that I have to fix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide these. So I'm only looking at the gold arch. And now I'm going to resize this. Line this up. Yeah, this is taking a long time. Okay, that is lined up perfectly over there. So now I need to line that one up. Not gonna be perfect the first time out. I'm just gonna get as close as I can. Pretty good. Ooh, stayed pretty close. Okay, really close. So this side is moved over. Okay, yes, I am trying to get this pixel perfect. Why? Because pixel perfect when I first started. And so all right. It's going to be one of these where it has to jump 2 pixels. Yeah, it is. Good afternoon.
Hello.
My wife is the artist of everything here. Please enjoy.
Oh, thanks.
All right, sorry about that. Turned out to be 96.6% exactly to get it to fit. And I am now ready to see what it looks like in place. Okay. Now, if I take this gold border and I bring it up to that standard margin that matches the others. What? Why did it do that? Okay. How close is it? That's plenty of room, at least in this piece. She left me plenty of room to, so let's say, I'm gonna give a standard margin of, it says 3.72 is how close it is now. So 0.372 is close to 0.375. 0.375 happens to be 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this go to exactly 3/8 of an inch and call this a standard margin now. And hopefully she hasn't deviated too much. It's not killer, but I need a guideline to begin with. You'll see later, see reason why in other videos. And yes, I don't think I got it exactly. All right, why didn't I? There we go. Okay. So that is kind of how she planned it. And this is at the new resolution. However, it needs some tweaking. For instance, this gold arch is wrong. I know it's wrong because I can tell. So what happens if I, snaps to everything. Take this, I'm gonna snap it here. Notice it doesn't touch. That's weird. So why did it stop? Because it touches here. Yeah. Yes, I'm that anal retentive that I need to make that work. So I need it to be perfect. So I'm gonna be doing it with a vector object. And I'm going to be making this vector object like this. I already have this one. I should have used that one, but I just forgot about it. But now I need to make this arch. And the best way of making that arch is the way I did it originally. To make an oval. Now it's really close already, but that's obviously not exact. So I'm going to line it up. And almost lines up there. Lines up about the same way, but it doesn't line up there. So what I'm going to do is I want to get this up so it matches there. And then I'm going to make it taller. Notice this is 6.02. I wonder what happens if I make this 6 exactly. And then that becomes, all right. Make that 602, okay. So that's the width is 602. I actually want the width to be, the height is 5. So I changed the height to 5. Okay. Notice on the left-hand side here, it's taller. I'm sorry, it's shorter and fatter than I want it to be. So I just want the height. What if I do height 5.25? Oh, that looks really good. That actually lines up pretty well. That's interesting. It looks a little like it's. That's strange. They doesn't seem to line up anymore. Oh. There we go. So I need the width to be more than this. Let's try another 1/16 of an inch. Interesting. Oh, that's right. It's too much. So go backwards. Okay, so 1/16 of an inch this way. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. I don't like the height, though. I'm gonna make the height. What if I make the height 4.5 inches and then reduce the width 5 inches? Oh, that's not good. Forgot about that anchoring thing. Okay, so now I want it to be a little squatter. So time to start manipulating things. Much better. Much better. Okay, so now I'm going to take these two objects here and I'm going to hide the gold arch. So now I have this rectangle, which I'm now going to make it obvious to see, making it blue. And then I'm going to take these two and I'm going to subtract the front from the back. And now I'm left with this beautiful shape. Why is that important? Because now I don't need this anymore. Okay, technically I do, but I'm now going to take this shape and I'm going to fill it with that, make it that color. And now I have a perfect vector gold arch. that can be used on all of hers going forward. And what happens when I put these on top, no one knows the difference except for me. I'm literally turning this other one on and off. Now okay, now I need to put the text there. Actually, I should save this. Hit save. Okay. Maia. Okay. Template 6x9. Perfect. Save it as a TIFF instead of a Photoshop file, because Photoshop doesn't really save and doesn't have any. TIFFs can encompass everything a Photoshop file has nowadays. All right. So now this works to a degree. All right, so now I'm going to take these two golden arches and I'm going to make a folder for them, a group. And again, because I'm okay. Now we've got text. She has this wonderful. Now, there's a point in time in which you consider using a border. And you can see what that looked like actually if I just turn everything back on. Oops. And it looks like a poster, not a novel. And while it is a beautiful poster, this isn't a poster, this is a novel. It would also kind of require that this image, that border is placed on every single page of the entire book, and that would just be irritating. So, you're not using that. We're not going to use these. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. So now I have this text here. Let's move this text over there. Oh. Okay, here it is. Now, I had to increase the size of this to 200% of this, 200%, and then I had to reduce it to 96.6%, which is irritating. So, instead, well, this is vector text. I could do the exact same thing rather than do the math. Oh, it says it doesn't want me to. Sub on Roman. But I have Roman. Where's my... But I have sub on Roman here. I gotta pause while I get this font thing. Okay, that was could have been worse. Okay. So now I need to double this in size to 100%. And then again to 96.6%. Now, this is not going to be the finished price. All I'm doing is trying to figure out where this fits. Okay. So notice that this kind of fits here-ish, right? That's kind of where she wanted it. So I'm going to try and line that up here too. Okay, 3.5. I want something easy to remember. Oh, 3, 1, 2, 5. Okay. Because everyone knows that that 3.3125 is actually 5/16. Trust me. All right, so now I've got this. This is a text box. This text box, how wide is this text box? Four and a 4.25. That's 4 1/4. Let's get this lined up. Okay. And now she has this image here. Layer. So this is for the letters. Now again, 200%. And 96.6%. Okay. Now, the only thing that really matters is its height. So this top margin was 3.75, but also so when I line up, so now I've made this border down here, but I also need it to be another 1/8 inch. Why do we do that? Because these footer flowers here still can't be really closer to the bottom of the page than this is to the top of the page. Now, did she follow that? No, she didn't. She kind of went a little bit lower. Ish. A little bit. Let's check again. Okay. All right. So this footer doesn't matter right now. It's just generally placed. She's doing the footer separately. It just needs the general placement of it. So this is just temporary. I am going to change its size to be 4.25 wide. And let's see. Yeah. Those flowers might have to be moved around a little bit. Okay. What's a good height for that? 8.140. That's interesting. If I take this and I change its height to be 0.875, which happens to be 7/8 of an inch. See how that's really close. Okay. Wait, what is it? Perfecting its alignment. Okay. You see again, this footer is just a little too close still. No one wants to read text that much. And I think it's also a little bit big visually. But maybe that's a little better. Okay, not going to worry about the page numbers right now. So the point of this exercise, to say it again, is I'm building a template so that everything can be perfect and streamlined and can be published. I'm going to be taking all of the ones she's done already and putting it into this template to perfect it. So that they can print properly. I'm also going to be, because she still has about another 80 to do, I'm going to give her this template to work from. However, this is still not ready for press. So I'm going to go next step, and this is going to be pretty different. You may have never seen this before in Photoshop. This brown color is supposed to be a single ink. It's supposed to be gold. Photoshop needs to be handled very specifically on how to do this. I can't just take this element and give it a color. I can go color libraries, and I can do 108C, blah, 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 and hit OK. And technically that uses that color. However, that's just a color match, because if I go to the channels, these are the actual plates that are going to be used to print this. It's going to print with a cyan plate, a magenta plate, a yellow plate, and black. So you see that goldish color has a little bit of black in it, a lot of yellow in it, a medium amount of magenta, and a light amount of cyan. But I'm actually going to be using gold ink, actual metallic gold. There's only one way of doing that, and that is creating a completely separate, spot channel. Spot color means a color that is not CMYK. And in this case, I'm going to call it Pantone Gold. And I'm going to use the 10128C. And there now is this new plate. But notice, because it doesn't show any artwork on here, it's not actually going to show up as anything. So I'm going to use this template, this vector one I have. That's absolutely pristine and perfect. I'm now going to use that to create that gold shape and the gold channel. Now watch what happens when I turn all the channels on to see them. Ooh, it's now printing gold on top of everything else. Not great, right? Because we need to see white through it. Well, that's because if you remember, hiding this, that's all the black, that's all the yellow, that's all the magenta. Oh, that's because it's showing. There we go. On the yellow plate, when it was printing yellow, it doesn't print yellow where there's going to be white, but it's doing that here. So how do I fix that? Well, I actually have to now go back to Lespa's header, and I have to select all these things. And this is where I want it to be cut out. Voila, it's cut out. With one noticeable exception. Watch, I turn this off. Notice that there's something still gold here. The eyes. The eyes do not show up here. They're not here. They need to. So I'm now going to go to this layer, select, that says gold eyes, select it. I'm going to turn them off. I can go to the Pantone gold layer and put them in. Now they're gold. Real gold. Okay. So this is now a pixel accurate comp of what this page should look like. I hit save because it's a template. But, oops, I noticed something else. Title. This is supposed to have a white border. And there is one right there. So now I just have to cut that out. Oops. There, it's cut out. Okay, as I said, I don't even need this anymore, but I'm gonna leave it. Okay, again, save. Oh, I should probably place these. There we go. So now if these are ever moved, stop it. Now there are two things I need to do with this. One is going to be sending this to Echo as a template for her to put the art in again, and hopefully she will never move things. But if she does, if she tries, I'm going to actually lock that layer so that can't go anywhere. I'm going to lock that footer as well so that she can't accidentally move that around left or right. It doesn't really matter that much, but I can get rid of this rectangle because that was just temporary. And good. I keep thinking I'm done and then I find something else I need to do. All right, now I need to translate this into an InDesign file. Now that this file is 99% ready for printing, I'm now going to finish it the rest of the way. And this is where it becomes interesting, because it's only going to be printed in black ink and that gold ink, and yet this says cyan through black. Frustrating. So let's duplicate this. Okay. Let's now take this Pantone gold file out. Okay. And oops. I haven't done this before. I haven't tried it this way before. I'm now going to convert this to grayscale. Flatten visible layers and discard hidden layers. No, I don't want to do that. Well, I'm going to pause for a second while I think. All right, that wasn't difficult, it's just not editable anymore. So I now converted this file that had cyan, magenta, yellow, black, and Pantone gold files into this that had black and gold only. Now again, it's not editable right now. And it's never going to be editable. I can't have layers in this version of the file. So this is going to be my finished print file only. Okay? Now that I've done that, I'm now going to save this file. and I'm going to save it in the correct folder. Novel, images. I'm going to create a new folder for these images, and they're going to be headers 6x9. And this is going to be chapter 16. I know that because it says it right there. I'll give it a name of Lespa because that's what she calls it. And I'll say 6x9. It can't be a PSD file. So I just, oh, it looks like it has to be a PSD file. Okay. And make sure spot colors. All right. That's saved and done. Close this. I made some critical damaging changes to this, so I'm going to make sure that okay. You know what? I'm going to do something else here as a template for Echo, just to make things easier. Notice how these flowers here stick out a little bit. That sticks out a little bit. All of these, you know, that has the potential of her creativity getting a little out there. So I'm going to take, let's see. Do it this way, be easier. Okay. I need 3/8 of an inch taken off of both sides. Pause. Okay, so starting again. So I need to trim off 3/8 of the left and 3/8 of the right, which means it's going to be a total of 3/8 plus 3/8 is 3/4. Everyone knows that, right? And so now 6 inches wide minus 3/4 is going to be 5.25, and 3/4 off the top and the the height is going to be 8.25. Oops, it did pixels. My bad. It's supposed to do inches. So 5.25 inches and 8.25 inches. Better. And then I need to center it perfectly. And then I'm going to make a group, make a new special group here called safety. And I'm going to color it red. And you'll see why. I'm gonna make 2 folders in here. 2 images, I mean. Take this one. And I'm going to color that and say, and for the margin. And I'm going to make it multiply just in case. The reason why it's multiply is now if this gets moved around, you'll notice that you can still see it through the red. But then this one needs to be for the text. Oh, I never made that. Boo, dummy. I talked about doing it, but I didn't actually do it. It's supposed to be 0.875. I put it down here, but I didn't actually, and I made the text box, but I didn't put the guide. So now I did that. Now I'm going to take approximately. And now I'm going to do it again. But this one is going to be text. Multiply. So now she can work, again, I'm going to lock them. So she can work like this, blah, 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 and then see, oh, is my artwork getting too close to important elements? Oh, so if her elements touch the red, she'll know to be extra careful. All right. Less beheader is mixing. What happened to the chapter then? That's weird. Wonder how that happened. Oh, all of this got moved. Oh, good thing that I have this alignment. See, this is how things move. You're not paying attention, you're doing something else, you accidentally grab something that you shouldn't and move it around. So I say that, I have to clean up. It's not because Echo's pretty sloppy, it's that the more complicated you develop something, the more difficult it's going to be. Okay. I better check to make sure that this other one looks right. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, good. That one's correct, oddly enough. Okay. So this is pretty much good enough for me to send over to Echo to start, making new artwork with. But now I need to translate this to the InDesign file and start laying out the book. Thank you.